Hello Virgo, Sun, Moon, Rising, and Venus, and welcome to your reading. So Virgo, today we're going to focus on your past, present, as well as your future. So let's get started. For Virgo, Sun, Moon, Rising, and Venus, for their past, present, as well as their future. All right, Virgo, in the past, we do have the King of Pentacles. Your current energy is the Knight of Cups. Somebody's coming towards you. In the near future, we do have the Strength card. Okay. Virgo, whoever this person is that's coming towards you, they could be a water sign strongly, so a Cancer, Scorpio, maybe even a Pisces. Doesn't necessarily have to be the case, but there is somebody that's trying to like wiggle their way back into your life all over again. So whoever this person is, it's definitely somebody that, you know, you experienced an ending with. It's somebody that you could have had like a major falling out with. So this could be referring to like a family member, possibly, maybe even a friend or a romantic interest. But the fact that you're harnessing the strength energy in the near future, that's kind of telling me that you're kind of forcing yourself at this point to like stay away from this person, not accept this person back into your life all over again. But we're going to break this down and see what else we can get here. But let's look at this King of Pentacles energy in the near future. I mean, not in the near future, in the recent past. Okay, so we do have the King of Swords, we do have the Page of Cups, and then we also have the Empress out here. At the bottom of the deck, we do have the Five of Pentacles. So looks like in the recent past, you and this person parted ways. You could have been the one to sever ties with this person, or maybe this person was the one to essentially sever ties with you, regardless of, you know, who ended what with who first, right? It looks like more of the story, you know, things came to an end here between you and this person. I feel like your relationship with this person caused you to essentially feel like you just simply weren't good enough. I am definitely getting that. And that created a massive like issue for you, you know, as far as like being with somebody who made you feel like you just simply weren't good enough. Because I keep getting that you felt like you just simply weren't good enough. So maybe this person, you know, would do things or say things to make you feel like you just simply weren't good enough. But now that you're not with this individual anymore, Virgo, I feel like things for you have drastically, you know, changed. You know, you go from feeling, you know, like you're this person that's just simply not good enough to feeling like, you know, you're more than essentially good enough. There's a possibility that this person could have been there's a possibility that this person could have been projecting their own insecurities, you know, onto you. That's definitely a possibility, which could explain why you felt so insecure with this person, why you felt like you weren't necessarily good enough. So like I said, it could have been certain things that they were doing and were saying to you that caused you to feel like you just simply weren't good enough. But I think that you yourself are noticing a significant change within your energy now that you're not with this individual anymore. You know, you find yourself feeling good about yourself. Something that you didn't necessarily feel when you were with this person. You find yourself feeling like you're more than good enough. Again, something that you didn't necessarily feel when you were dealing with this person, you know, from your past. Okay, let's look at this Knight of Cups energy. Tell me more about the Knight of Cups. Okay, yeah. With the Judgment card to the Queen of Wands, the Six of Wands coming out here, that's kind of telling me that this person wants you and what they once upon a time had with you back in their life all over again. I'm going to be honest. They feel pretty confident that they can pull this reconciliation off with you is basically what I'm getting. So this person is gravitating towards you with the energy of I know exactly what to say and exactly what to do to get my Virgo back, okay? The bottom of the deck, we do have the King of Swords. We also have the Moon, and then we also have the Hierophant. You know, the fact that this person's gravitating towards you and trying to like wiggle their way back into your life all over again is very, very confusing to you. Primarily because this person has definitely made you feel by their actions and or their words that you just simply weren't good enough for them. So the fact that they want back in your life and they want you back into theirs, it confuses you and it causes you to question, well, why? You know, why is that? Especially when this person essentially made you feel like you weren't necessarily good enough when you were with them. Why do they want you back? You know, according to, you know, your energy and what I'm seeing here, they always felt like you weren't good enough. So it doesn't really make logical sense to you as to why this person even wants you back, because as far as what you were experiencing within your relationship with this person, They always made you feel like, you weren't good enough and that you never were going to essentially be good enough. Regardless if they verbally expressed this to you or not, it could have just been their actions that made you feel like you just simply weren't good enough. So yeah, I do feel like you're going to be caught off guard by all of this, primarily because of the reasons where I basically mentioned. But with the King of Swords coming out here and the Two of Swords in the world, that's kind of telling me that your mind is essentially made up here when it comes down to this person. As far as revisiting this connection between the two of you is concerned, it's not something that you want to do. And I think that the main reason why you don't want to revisit this connection all over again is because you don't want to go back to feeling like you're not good enough. You don't want to go back to feeling extremely insecure within yourself because they're projecting their own insecurities onto you and, making you, feel extremely insecure within yourself because of their actions and their behavior and, the things that they would essentially, express to you. You don't want to go back to feeling that way ever again. And in order to avoid feeling that way ever again, it does kind of require you to keep this door closed / shut between you and them. Okay. Now let's look at the Strength card. Now I am getting like a very forceful energy coming from you. I'm not gonna lie, Virgo. Like, even though you have like legitimate reasons as to why you don't want to open that door back up, this is not an easy thing for you to do, to say the least. I'll say that. Like, this is not an easy thing for you to do as far as keeping that door shut is concerned. It's not an easy thing for you to do, but you got to do it. I feel like what makes this whole process for you not so easy has a lot to do. It has a lot to do with the fact that regardless of how this individual made you feel when you were, dealing with this person, this is somebody that you still love and care for deeply. This is somebody that you're still very much so emotionally invested in. Again, regardless of how this individual made you feel, whether it's through their words or their actions, okay? So keeping that door shut, it's not easy. It's not easy because it causes you to feel like, you're losing the person, right, that you essentially fell in love with. And I don't necessarily feel like this is what you even wanted, to begin with, as far as losing this individual is concerned. But at the same exact time, it's like you don't want to continue to feel like you're not good enough. You don't want to continue to basically feel that way within your relationship with this person, causing you to feel like in order for you to no longer feel this way, it requires you to let this person go. And I don't feel like you wanted to even let this person go, but you kind of felt like you had to in order to feel, like you were essentially more than good enough, because I feel like you always were. I just kind of feel like, again, they either project their own insecurities, onto you, which I'm kind of getting more than likely happened here. Yeah, I'm kind of getting that that's more likely, what happened, that they were projecting their own insecurities onto you. But either which way, right? It's like you just don't want to go back to feeling less than or inadequate or insecure within yourself because of their words and their actions and their behavior that led you to feel this way about yourself to begin with. You don't want to go back to feeling that way. So, I mean, it sucks nonetheless to keep that door shut, for you, because you're still emotionally invested, into this person, but you feel like, this is what's best, right? This is what's best. Now, what's going to also make this decision, as far as keeping the door shut is concerned, a little bit more challenging and difficult for you, also has a lot to do with them putting up a fight. It also has a lot to do with that too. So not only is it challenging and difficult for you to keep that door shut because you're still emotionally invested into this person and you didn't want this, entire situation to play out the way that it did between you and this person as far as it coming to an end is concerned, but you also have to kind of deal with them refusing to take no for an answer. You also kind of have to deal with them essentially putting up a fight to keep you in their life is basically what I'm getting. Now, Virgo, we're going to pull some advice for you. What advice can you give me for Virgo? Okay, so Virgo, we do have the King of Wands, we do have the 10 of Pentacles, and then we also have the 4 of Wands. In regards to your overall advice, Virgo, you are being advised to remain on the path that you're currently on, which is, a path where you're just solely focusing on yourself and not this person or anyone else, okay? What Spirit wants you to do is take this time to, yes, focus on yourself and this healing journey that you currently find yourself on. And Spirit also wants you to basically unlearn everything when it came down to this particular person. Because it kind of looks like it got so bad, dude, between you and this person that you were essentially led to think and believe that you weren't essentially good enough and that you never were going to essentially be good enough. These are things that you have to, unlearn, to be completely honest, Virgo. And it's going to take some time. It's going to take some time before you are able to undo and unlearn everything that this person wanted you to basically think and believe about yourself. It's going to take some time, but you'll eventually essentially get there. I mean, you're already finding yourself feeling 10 times better now that this person is not in your life. But there's still some things that you need to unlearn. I keep getting that. There's some things that you need to essentially unlearn. And there's certain things that you need to stop believing, I would say, when it comes down to yourself. Because I just think that this person led you to think and believe certain things about yourself that just simply was not true, is basically what I'm getting. So, and it's going to take some time, like I said, before you get there. You know what I mean? As far as unlearning certain things are concerned, and not continuing to believe whatever it is that this person wanted you to think and believe about yourself, or even feel, about yourself. Because I'm getting that it's either something that this person verbally told you about yourself, or it was certain things that they did that made you think and believe you weren't good enough. So it's one or the other, or it could even be a combo of both. But as far as your overall advice, yeah, you're being advised to remain on the path that you're currently on. In other words, don't open that door back up. Continue to walk down this path that you're currently walking down. Continue to focus on you, your stability, your career, your business if you have one, this healing journey that I see you currently on. And also taking time, to focus on undoing everything that this person led you to basically think and believe about yourself. All right. So that is your advice, Virgo. Hopefully the reading helped. Hopefully it resonated. And I will see you guys in your next reading. Bye.